Today I'm going to be making something really yummy, and these are my deep fried pickles. So let's get on with the ingredients. A half a cup of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, a half a teaspoon of salt. I've got some dill pickles, a half a cup of water, and about a cup of Italian breadcrumbs. So those are the ingredients, so let's get started. Alright, this is a really simple batter. We have our flour. I'm just going to pop in my water. There we go. We'll get in cayenne pepper, our salt, and our baking powder. Okay, and then we're just going to mix this up. Okay, that's completely mixed, and now we'll just put that aside and we'll set up our breading station. Alright, I have everything set up here. We've got our wet batter and we have our Italian breadcrumbs. Okay, so first thing, we're going to grab a pickle. I'm going to do 1 whole pickle and all of the rest are halved. So I'm going to get it into our nice batter here and just give it a little shake. Just get most of it off. And then right into the breadcrumbs. Then I'm going to grab my other fork and I'm going to coat this. Now, I make these quite often and this is a little different. What we're going to do is we're going to double coat these. So the first thing you want to do is completely coat these. So number 1, nice coat, and then into the batter again. Try not to get any of the batter off. You know, just kind of gently get the wet batter all over the place, just like that, and then give it a little shake. Okay, and then back into our breadcrumbs. Now you could try them doing a single coating. It will be a little bit thin, and that's because the pickle has a lot more exterior moisture than, say, a mushroom. Mushroom's a lot more dry, so everything sticks better. So there we go. But you can see, really nicely sticking there. So there is pickle number 1. So now we're going to grab one of the halves, get that in there. And what you can do is you can take a paper towel and try to get a lot of the moisture off, but what I find, you can dab them down, but the moisture just keeps coming out of the pickle. So it's kind of a wasted step. So there we go. We'll go back into there. Just quickly cover it. And this is a very simple batter. I mean, there are so many different kinds of batter. You know, there are ones with egg and oil, all kinds, but this is just very simple. And this is just delicious. Okay, there we go. And back in there for our second coating. Just give it a little shake. And onto our rack. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the rest of those because hopefully you see the actual method. So I won't bore you with doing all of them. So I will whip through these and then I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. I haven't done them all. What I thought I would do for a test, I'm going to take all of these 4 which have been double dipped. I'm going to move them over, and then I'm going to do these and I'm going to only single dip them. So we're going to keep them separate, and then we'll fry them up and then we're going to look at the difference. Okay, so we'll do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to whip through these. I'm going to only single batter these ones. So these 4 have been double battered, and then these 4 here were only single battered. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom in a little bit with the camera so that we can just look at them before they hit the fryer. Okay, I've zoomed in a little bit just so that we can inspect what we've done here. So these 4 right here were all double battered. Okay, so double dipped, double battered. Those have been single dipped. Now if you look at them, you can see the batter on these ones here on the double dip, they're, you know, quite thick. Here you can actually see a little bit of the pickle showing through, a little bit here, you know, not too bad. I did a pretty good job. Okay, so you know, it all depends on how crispy that you want them. When they do hit the fryer, I find that when you only single dip, some of the actual coating may peel off and you'll have a little bit of pickle showing. But anyway, what we'll do now is we're going to fry them up and then we'll check them out. So I'll set up my fryer and I'll be back in 1 second. Alright, my deep fryer is set to 370 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'll start off with the double coated ones. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Perfect. I am going to set my timer for 2 minutes, and these will get really, really nicely golden brown. So I'm going to just let this go, and I'll come back when my timer's up. And we're back. So let's get these out. So I set my timer for 2 minutes. So by the time I shut off my timer, it's about 2 minutes and 10 seconds, something like that. But you can see these are really, really nice and brown and crispy. Looks really, really good. So just let them drip off for a second. And I put another plate here with another little drip tray. You know, so while something's frying, you can set something else up and have it ready to go. So there we go. And you can see these look really, really nice. Don't worry, I will zoom in so we can see them a little bit better. So there we go. All right, now I'm going to put my little basket down again and we will get these in. So now these are the single coated pickles. So let's get these in. You know, you might actually like them like this. It all depends on the person. Somebody might say, oh, I like those. So now I'm going to set my timer for 2 minutes. There we go, and we'll just let those go, and I'll be back. All right, my timer just went off. That's another 2 minutes again, and I will just let these drip. So I'm going to move these over, just so that we don't have any mistakes which ones are which. There are our first 4. Then 1, 2, 3, and 4. So instead of talking about them now, what I'll do is I'll just zoom in first and then we'll just take a little look and we'll, you know, check them out. So here we have the pickles that were double dipped, and you can see, like, even on this one there's a little section there that it didn't, you know, it didn't stick. That one there is not bad. You can see that the coating on here is really, really nice. They're really, really crispy. Now let me just turn this a little bit. Okay, and then here you can see a little bit of the pickle here showing through. You know, you can see, and here we go, here's a good example. You can see that some of the batter has actually come away. I mean, it's not really a big deal. If you don't really like a really, really thick batter, then try it like this. You could try a few like I did. Try a few double dipped and some single dipped. Here you can see again that, you know, there's a little bit missing here. Let's try this one out. This one's not bad on the other side. See, that there is really, really good. Okay, so the only thing left is to cut into one, and well, how about I cut into a double dipped one and a single dip? Let's try that. Okay, I don't usually cut on a plate. I usually use a cutting board, but because of the contrast, I thought this was better. So here is our double dipped pickle. So let's just cut into that. And there we go. Now remember, when you're doing a deep fried pickle, you don't actually want to cook the pickle so that you don't have any crunch to it. You know, if you leave it in the deep fryer too long, your coating is going to get really, really dark and it'll probably burn, and you're also going to get the pickle turning into mush, and that's something that you don't want. So you really do want to have 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes maximum in your deep fryer. So there we go. You can see the pickle still nice and, you know, it's still got a crunch to it when I cut through it. Let's try this one here, and just to show you. And there we go. Okay, so double dipped, single dipped, and there we go. Perfect. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. These are my deep fried pickles. That's it, and I'll see you next time.